It's a time for... which one shall I open? Oh, it's like my birthday with a package from China. So let's go. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, we are going to take a close look at something pretty damn awesome. I picked it up from AliExpress. It's this tiny box that contains the racing wheel for your PlayStation 4 controller. It's more like a click and go system and 3D printed and partly has been disassembled, so it's very easy to use. So we're going to do a quick look in the inside. What are we going to get in the box? So first of all, what we're going to get is not a lot. We're going to get a manual, of course, and how to assemble and the parts that we're going to need to click it on your PlayStation 4 controller. But I noticed this on AliExpress and I was so curious just to see, just to make a video and sharing my experience about this product. So first of all, we're going to get the installation steps. I will show you how you need to assemble it, but I must say that I will make some different ways to assemble it. That's wicked, you know, I'm quite stubborn, I just want to do it my own way. Okay, so first of all, let's do a quick unboxing. Here we're going to get the zipper bag. Let's open it up and let's see. So basically we're going to get two parts. That's it. There's nothing else. The right one is a kind of interesting one. But here we're going to get pre-assembled, and it's a quite interesting ingenious system. So this is basically what it is. They assembled all of the 3D printed parts for you. But a quite interesting thing to look at, how they assemble it and how it looks. In the middle we're going to get the bearing that will support the movement, and here we're going to get this extra attachment for the right joystick for gas and brake. I will show you in the different part of the video. Okay, so let's take a close look at the bracket and how you need to assemble it. Take consideration that you cannot use the touchpad anymore, so that is a very big caveat of this thing. Alright, so let's plug this thing in. So when I was reading the manual, they said you need to plug in the joystick first and then you're going to assemble, but I'm afraid I'm going to break this thing. So what I'm going to do, of course, I'm stubborn, I'm just going to do it my own way. I'm just going to click it on. Don't push too hard, be very gentle, and it will basically click over here. So the next thing that you just need to do is assemble the joystick. And here you can see it's basically holding back on the touchpad. Construction wise, it looks nice. Okay, so next up, let's add the joystick to it, the left joystick, so this function works. And of course, this has the spring of the joystick itself, so it will be coming back into neutral position. And this is basically the way how it works. And the right joystick is a kind of interesting way. I was thinking first, they need to do something with it in combination with a steering wheel, but it's just giving the option to use the right joystick. And in some games like Gran Turismo, we can use it for giving gas, and we'll also use that. Okay, so this is the way how you need to assemble it. The way how it looks is quite interesting in my opinion. And when you're looking at the quality of the 3D printed, I'm not an expert in this, but it looks okay. And I would say that they make this thing for a couple of euros. You can pick it up from AliExpress. And here you can see how this thing basically works. So will this thing give some better experience than just using the joystick? That is I'm curious about. So we're going to play Wipeout, one of my favorite games. It's a very difficult game, especially with a joystick itself. So I'm curious if there's going to be any different when it comes to gameplay. So what I already mentioned before is the touchpad cannot be used. So if you're going to need this, it's going to be an issue. You can click this thing off very easily, but this is not super convenient. So in my opinion, they need to do something about it, if it's even possible, of course. But okay, so let's play some games and let's see how this thing will work. Everything has been touched. We're going to plug in the controller in the PlayStation 4. Here you can see we can touch it's quite interesting, we can touch the home button with this tiny support in the middle. But that's it, this is what we're going to get. So let's play some games. So first off, let's play, of course, my favorite game, Wipeout. Navigating through the menu, we're going to use the D-pad itself. I must say that I cannot reach the X button very well, or the cross, so that's a little bit annoying. So later on I will try to see if I can change out the button layout to give a better gaming experience. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing, it's quite difficult to steer because this is a completely different experience. Normally you're just going to use your thumb for the freaking joystick, but now you're having this tiny wheel. So it's quite interesting to see how this works out. And the only thing I cannot manage is the barrel roll. When you're jumping with Wipeout, you need to press left, right, left. That is, see, that's the thing. doesn't even work. So it's like the learning curve, man. It's the learning curve. Oh man. Okay, so next up what we need to do is change out the controls. I'm going to use the trigger and the L and R1 for shooting and stuff like that. So let's see how it works out now. I think this will be like a completely different and better experience. Okay, so acceleration will be done by R2 and L2, and all the other buttons have been mapped to the, let's say, absorption of the power and of course shooting them. And now I'm using two thumbs using the steering wheel, and this plays a lot better than with the first attempt. And again, like, you still need to get used to it, but it's a lot of fun. I must say, like, it's a completely different experience. If this is going to be like an improvement, that's the question more like, do you want to put all the effort or trying to learn to play like this with this tiny wheel? And also depending on what kinds of games are you playing, because Wipeout is a quite difficult game to begin with, and with this wheel it doesn't make it any better, and better said, like, even easier. Alright, so next up let's play Gran Turismo, and the reason why, because here we're going to choose different ways to play. So we're going to basically use the left joystick for steering and the right one for giving some acceleration and brake. And then we're going to need the second tiny piece of 3D printed part. So now we're going to use both joysticks, and normally I would not recommend it. I'm personally like a big fan of the trigger buttons, but it's going to be a fun experience. So let's see if we can play this game with the steering wheel. Of course, this game is something completely different than Wipeout, because Wipeout was more like a fun arcade game. This is like a driving simulator. So now I can see that we're going to get a better result when it comes to the steering wheel, and it's such a big difference. Still, again, you need to get used to it. The learning curve is here, but it is not a huge like with Wipeout. Oh, there we go. And don't forget, like, I'm using also the acceleration and brake with the right joystick, the 3D printed part. So it's a lot of fun to play like this. Okay guys, so this is the steering wheel for your PlayStation 4. And I must say that I'm quite surprised with the result. Depending on what kind of game you're playing, I just used two of them, like two of my favorite games. I know the best, I played a lot, so I know how the original joystick plays. Yeah, let me know in the comments what do you think of this attachment. Should I try the Xbox version? Well, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, welcome on the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.